Hello Beach Class, it's Mrs Elliott here. Now I'm just setting for you the activity that I'd like you to do before we have our online lesson this week. And it's all to do with The Lion King. So if you've been able to watch the video, which I know the year ones have, then you'll be perfectly prepared for this. But if you haven't watched the video, it really doesn't matter too much because I'm going to share some images with you. So if I quickly share these images here, and you can see that these are all images from The Lion King. So make it nice and big for you to have a look at. So they're all images here. We have obviously got all of the animals that we can see in The Lion King. So we're going to use this to make some brilliant sentences. Now, you can pick one of the images, or you might be able to remember another part of the story. The choice is absolutely yours. But we're looking at growing our sentences. So we're not just going to start with what we can see in the picture. We're going to really elaborate and make our sentence fantastic. So I'm going to use this picture down here. So I'm going to stop sharing so you can see what I'm going to write. So that was Zazu and he was flying in the air. So the beginning of my sentence is, Zazu is flying. Zazu is flying. He is flying. It's not the best pen, I'll go over that in a second. Zazu is flying. He is flying, that's very true. It's not the most exciting sentence. So we, while we've been at school, nor is that pen very good pen. Let's try another one, shall we? There we go. Zazu is flying. Now, while the year ones have been in, and what I've been doing with the year two on the online lessons, is that we're looking at adding a bit more to our sentence. So Zazu is flying, but before we start talking about him flying, I want to know, where is this happening? Where is this activity happening? So where? Where is this activity happening? Okay, so is it behind the tree, Zazu is flying? Is it underground, Zazu is flying? I don't think that makes any sense. So I'm going to put the most obvious place that Zazu is flying. I'm going to put in the air. Zazu is flying. So rather than just starting with the name, because sometimes we just start with I, which obviously is our name, rather than just saying I am flying, this sentence is saying Zazu is flying, but it's grown to in the air, Zazu is flying. Okay, in the air, Zazu is flying. So we have our where this is happening, and then we can add a little bit more information about what's happening at the same time. So in the air, Zazu is flying. Whoa, what's he doing? He was spying on the lion cubs, wasn't he? In the air, Zazu is flying as he spies on the lion cubs. In the air, Zazu is flying as he spies on the lion cubs. So our sentence, rather than just Zazu is flying, has grown from where the action is taking place and also what else is going on. So this is our challenge for this week. I want you to look at those pictures and just make a simple sentence like Zazu is flying. I then want you to add at the beginning of the sentence something about where that activity is taking place. Is it on the log? Is it on the ground? Behind the bush? Is it underneath the branches? Is it next to the lake? Where is the activity happening? Where is it happening? What was our simple sentence? And then add a bit more information. Now remember, if we're adding a little bit more information, I'll try another pen, we can add with an as, or we could do because, that could be adding a bit more information. We can add while, which means it's happening at the same time. We could add but, okay, that's saying something is happening against what's happening in the first sentence. Okay, so think about what we could use for our sentence. So, in the air, Zazu is flying as he spies on the lion cubs. We could have through the sky, Zazu is flying because he is spying on the lion cubs. Okay, so those are the sentences that I'm looking for. So I'm going to share with you again, just while I talk to you a little bit more, share with you this picture here. So have a look at all of the pictures. Which picture is your favourite? What can you see is happening? look at the pictures, okay? So I chose Zazu because he's my favorite, but it might be Simba. It could be any of the pictures that you want. Start simple. Start with a simple sentence. What can you see in the sentence? And then I want you to extend it. I want you to then add, where is the information happening? What was our simple sentence? And what else is going on? And then push it all into one sentence. That makes sense, okay? So trying to get away from just saying, I can do this, or they can do this, or he or she. They're okay for sentence openers, but let's try to be a little bit more ambitious. And I look forward to seeing these brilliant sentences that you put together when we next have our online lesson. Now, if you would like a challenge, I would like you to add a little bit more. So my sentence, which says, in the air, Zazu is flying as he spies on the lion cubs. Then I want you to add one of our LY openers for your following sentence. This is your challenge, by the way. So remember our LY openers. So what might happen? In the air, Zazu is flying as he spies on the lion cubs. The next sentence might be, accidentally, what might happen next? What could be the accident that happens next? In the air, Zazu is flying as he spies on the lion cubs. Accidentally, he crashes into a tree. Accidentally, he tumbles onto the ground. Okay, the choice is yours. So two brilliant sentences moving away from that I, we, she beginning. Okay. Other LYs, remember that these are adverbs, so we're describing what happens in the sentence. How does it happen? So it could be quickly, strangely, bizarrely, slowly. It could be anything that ends in an LY. Angrily, he glares at the lion cubs, whatever you would like. Okay, use your imagination, be creative. Year ones, use what we've been doing all of this past week, and year twos, keep topping up what we've been doing all year. And when we have our online lesson, I look forward to seeing what you produce.